describe the liberation of it?
Well, I should preempt that answer by saying that in December, Christmas time, 1944, we were moved en masse. Our entire camp was moved to Bilibid Prison in Manila. And this was a long and arduous journey on the back of Japanese trucks, driving through the night, mostly because they didn't want American planes to spot them, and driving without lights, and going down the mountain pass roads, which are like this, very dangerous, and at times excruciatingly painful for people, because one's belongings were put in the trucks, and the prisoners were all put on top of those belongings, and so you really were kind of hanging on to mattresses or mats or whatever, and as they would shift, and of course people were trying to hold on to keep from falling off the edges of it, and the drivers were obviously tired. They'd been doing this sort of thing apparently for some time because they were exhausted, and they would fall asleep at the wheel, and people were just yelling at them and to try to shake them or wake them up to hit the next curve. It was a very, very, I'm surprised they all made it, to be honest with you. It was one of those things that occurs that just shouldn't have occurred that way. But it was several days getting down and to Manila, and then we were placed in what used to be the old Bilibid Prison, the walled prison right next door to where the concreted archives are located. And that's where we spent our last months. And the liberation occurred then, because Manila was taken over, and the bombing was going on, and what seemed apparent was that the American forces were fully aware of the existence of some of the prison camps, but not all of them. And I think that there was some awareness that Corregidor and Bataan people were imprisoned in Bilibid, but and in Cabanatuan, which they knew, and Santa Tomas, which they knew about, but I don't think they were fully aware of our presence there, because the actual time came that they stormed the place, and Japanese troops who had promised to eliminate all of us, American attack made, so tied into their own safe departure that they basically ran out of the place, jumped on a truck, so that got blown up, I guess. But it was a very difficult time because shrapnel was falling in, and all kinds of debris and so forth. And myself was burned by some of that. Ended up in not knowing what it was, but it's a very difficult time, and people were dying pretty regularly at that point, and so the cemeteries, and I was in grave duty for some tasks with people on the ground, but when the Americans came, they actually came over the wall, and the way they entered was such that they didn't know what to expect on the other side. And so when they heard American voices, it was great. It was really a good feeling at the time. But the city was burning also every Japanese, as they were leaving, were burning everything, and so it was burning up all around us, and so we weren't there very many days, and we had to be evacuated on American trucks to some shoe factory outside the city a little ways, and brought back because it was safer with the walls there. The war was going on all around the prison.
Were you jubilant that you're American?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And, you know, kind of made friends. It was the 37th, I think, that came in. And so we became attached to different GIs, and they, American kids, I mean, they didn't see American kids in a long time. I think they were very sympathetic to what we had gone through, and so they were very kind and very nice. Passed around chocolate and that sort of thing.